Hey guys, Daniel here and welcome back to another video. Cryptocurrencies across the board are falling in a massive way. And in this video, I want to talk about the moves these cryptos are making, exactly why they're falling, and potentially, why cryptos actually moved so much as the global crypto market is down right around 11% at this moment in time. And then lastly, I want to go through how this volatility actually impacts crypto exchanges like Coinbase and Voyager, which are publicly traded companies. So if you enjoy these types of videos, guys, make sure to hit that like button and let's get into it. When we look at Bitcoin, right, this is essentially the face of the cryptocurrency market. What happens with Bitcoin tends to get mirrored with other cryptocurrencies. At around 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we saw cryptos flash crash, right? Go from right around $60,000 per Bitcoin to under 54,000, over 10% move. I think it was actually down almost 20% at one point. Then we saw a bit of a recovery and boom, it fell again, actually hitting a lower low. Now we're kind of in the middle of the two and still significantly lower than where we were just 24 hours ago. And obviously this is mirrored with other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, which is down 11.4%, Binance Coin, which is down 11.75%, XRP, 20%. Tether, this is a US dollar stablecoin. It's essentially pegged to the US dollar, so it doesn't change in price. But, Dogecoin actually managed to recover. That's kind of funny if we look at the chart. We don't really see this crash in Dogecoin. I'm assuming it's because it's a meme crypto right now, I guess. And just generally speaking, it's not experiencing or not falling with the rest of the crypto market. Cardano down in a massive way, Polkadot, Litecoin, Bitcoin crash. Every cryptocurrency across the board is down in a massive way. Now, why is this? One main reason. This tweet came out just yesterday. US Treasury to charge several financial institutions for money laundering using cryptocurrencies. Now, a lot of people got very worried after they saw this bit of news here, as it could potentially lead to stricter regulations in the cryptocurrency industry going forwards. Now, when we look at what money laundering is, it's essentially, or money laundering using cryptocurrencies. Let's say an institution somehow manages to collect dirty money, right? This is illegal money that can be tracked and you can be arrested if you get caught with this money. What they do, they transfer this money into Bitcoin, for example, right? A majority use Bitcoin because of its size and liquidity. Once they convert that to Bitcoin, they're able to use intermediate services to hide the origin of money. Now, when we look at this, it's known as crypto coin shuffling. If you don't know what this is, it's essentially a bunch of cryptocurrencies put into, let's say, like a mixing machine, let's say a laundering machine. All the cryptocurrencies get mixed up and spat out to different people. So you end up with different addresses than you had before, or essentially clean crypto, right? You can no longer pretty much be tracked. Now, once they have this clean crypto, they transfer it back to fiat dollars and, they're good to go. It's very difficult to track them at that point. Now, when we look at the system, this is what allegedly happened yesterday, or, maybe not yesterday, but this is what happened yesterday when this news was released. People thought to themselves, oh dang, institutions are using this for money laundering. What could happen in the future? Now, in my opinion, regulations are to money laundering and this crypto coin shuffling will come eventually, as coin shuffling is essentially used a majority of the time simply for fraud. And when we look at this, I think it's one of the things that stands to benefit from regulations. I think government regulations have generally a bad vibe around them for no real reason. I think regulations within a certain kind of a limit are actually welcomed within the cryptocurrency market, as they will actually make it a much safer place and will allow more people to feel comfortable holding Bitcoin and reduce these moments of volatility. So although the market is selling off because of this crypto laundering and the potential for regulations due to this, I don't think it will lead to a full-out ban of cryptocurrencies. I think it's this coin shuffling that really stands to get destroyed by regulations, and in my opinion, that is completely fine. I think ways to use Bitcoin for fraud should all be eliminated, as it will make the crypto market safer as a whole. Now, when we talk about why Bitcoin fell so significantly, right, within the span of an hour, we fell right around, I think it was down 15 to 20% at one point, and obviously what happens with Bitcoin generally gets mirrored with the rest of the market. This doesn't help. 17% of Bitcoin's supply hasn't moved in over 7 years. That's over 7 years. When we think about what, percentage of Bitcoin potentially hasn't moved in the past, year or two, that number could very well be 60, 70, 80%. Who knows? But what we do know is that there are a large amount of people who simply hold Bitcoin and don't sell it and don't plan on selling it, meaning that there is only a certain amount of Bitcoin, which is much less than that, 21 million number that everyone talks about, that is actually available to trade. Now, why is this bad? Because smaller moves within Bitcoin, or smaller buy orders, smaller sell orders, can cause massive, massive crashes or massive, massive spikes. In this case, we saw a massive, massive flash crash, right? Now, we don't know how much money was used to actually start this flash crash, but it could potentially only be $10–20 billion that started this. Now, once we got this main downward move, what continued this crash? Two main things: margin and stop losses. Now, what's margin? It's essentially leveraging your accounts, 50%, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. Let's say you leverage your cryptocurrency account by 100%. So when the cryptocurrency market falls by 50%, you're forced to sell all of your cryptocurrency holdings. Now, when this happens, you sell your holdings, the price of crypto falls even more, and another person potentially gets a margin call, which has to sell their shares, and then that causes crypto to fall even more. It's a spiraling effect, a snowballing effect. And when we look at institutions, in the past couple of months here, we saw a major investment firm actually 8x leveraged in the stock market. So when the market took a dip of 5 to 10%, they had to sell everything. Now, this is something that could very well happen within the cryptocurrency market, people being over leveraged, which is why we see these major moves down. Next, stop losses. What's a stop loss? You essentially set a certain price that if Bitcoin hits that price, we're selling. So in this case, it's below the current share price. So let's say when Bitcoin was trading right around $61,000 here, one major institution had a stop loss of 58,000. One had a major stop loss at 57,000. One had a major stop loss at 56,000, and that keeps going. So when Bitcoin hit that 57,000, they immediately sold their shares, caused Bitcoin to fall even further. That caused another institution to stop loss, or for their stop loss to hit, which causes Bitcoin to fall even more. And again, that snowballing effect. So that, in my opinion, is why we see these major moves down in Bitcoin, because of that initial sell, and due to low liquidity in the system, essentially a large downward move happens because of that, and then that large downward move sparks margin calls and stop losses. Now, when we look at how this impacts potential cryptocurrency exchanges like Voyager and Coinbase, these companies benefit in a massive, massive way from cryptocurrency volatility. So when Bitcoin, for example, here, we saw this thing fall massively in a matter of an hour. We saw it recover, then we saw it fall massively, then we saw it recover. When Bitcoin has these massive moves, people tend to buy and sell like crazy. They tend to deposit their money a majority of their time to buy more shares. They sell, they buy. There's a lot of volume. And what do cryptocurrency exchanges benefit from? Volume, because Voyager and Coinbase make money off of each transaction. So even if cryptocurrencies fall, like they did here today, there is a good chance that today was one of the best days for companies like Coinbase and Voyager from a revenue perspective. So if you enjoyed this type of video, guys, make sure to hit that like button. If I offered any value, make sure to do that as well. And let me know in the comment section what you think about this whole money laundering thing, and if regulations will actually end up taking this crypto shuffling out of existence. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.